Treat your kitty like a king and give him fancy feast. Meow. Anyways, I don't know what the fuck that was. I have no idea where that came from. But, yeah, I want to talk about the book some more. I'm just going through the... If it would fucking do it. I want to talk about... What do I want to talk about? I don't even know what the fuck I want to talk about. Let's go to documents. Hold on. I want to... Let's see. Where are we standing right now? Firmly with our nuts in the ground. Where are we? Let me scroll to the bottom. We are currently... This is book 3. 43,902 words. I'm on 69 pages. Although, to be honest with you, the table of contents is not added to that. And skipping down each chapter, at the end of each chapter. So we're talking probably 75 pages, give or take, right now. And this is just the base story. I just got the base stuff, and there's some stuff at the end I need to deal with, which is what I'm going to talk about here. There's no filler. There's no... well, the weird part is some of it, I don't know if you can put filler in there. I mean, I guess you could, but like certain sections are going to be really long. Like the first part, I don't think you can put filler because, well, actually, let me go through that. So, anyways, like I said, 43,902 words, about 75 pages, which that ain't bad. That ain't bad, and I still have stuff to talk about at the end. Well, let me run through the table of contents again. I did do some updating to it. Now, the prologue is Life and Death, which is a story of Clifford talking, on his deathbed, take care of the boy. And then prologue 2, and I have in parentheses because why the hell not? Because, again, I read it up. You're not supposed to have... you're not supposed to. It's not typical that you have 2 prologues, but I didn't care because the way I had it set up, it just didn't work. Like, this would not work as chapter 1. It needed to be kind of like a secondary prologue. And I don't care, it's my book, so fuck you. So anyways, we got prologue 2, because why the hell not? Where did my life go wrong? Part 2, which again, this is book 3, so it's starting off with part 2, and book 3 ended with the epilogue as part 1. And this is the day I fell into the septic tank and almost died. Which, that's... Between those two stories... Dude, when you... Just the book itself could be those 2 stories in a nutshell. Take care of the boy, and then I fall into the septic tank, and, it's like the movie The Ring, and you're looking up, and you see the moonlight, and there's Dale T bucking out teeth, going, Hurr! Laughing as I'm swashing around in fucking septic filth as a toddler. I mean, it's insane. Anyways, okay, so we have part 1. Now, I did do this, I went through this before, but like I said, I made some changes, and I want to talk... Basically, I'm doing this for myself, too, because I want to keep track of some of the stuff I need to talk about yet. Now, I'm going to have to read through this whole thing again, because piecing it together, I may have missed a few things, whatever. Anyways, part 1 is Love, Lies, Family Ties, and Unbind. Love, Lies, Family Ties, and Unbind. Yeah, Love, Lies, Family Ties, and Unbind. The first story is going out to dinner with Dale T, which, again, my point was to try to make it just a random story about me and Dale T. And that one's actually a pretty funny story. Where he starts having road rage and shit. He went to the bank to use his card, and he couldn't get the card, and the card falls out of his hand onto the ground. He's like at the bank in Rome. So he has to get out of the vehicle, and he's like crawling around under the car, literally under the fucking thing, screaming. Now keep in mind, there's people behind us saying, "Goddamn fucking car's under the cock-sucking car," blah. I mean, he was going ape. He was going ham on that shit. So, like I said, I just want to do a normal Dale T story, Dale T and I, because this is and again, you have to understand the way book 2 ended. This was just about a year after the old woman died, so it's just me and him now. Gene's still, rooting around. Anyways, that's chapter 1. Chapter 2 is called. Now, a couple of these are like really run on sentences, and I did that for a reason because it just made me laugh. Now, you can tweak it, but I kind of want to keep. I want to keep what's there because what's there is interesting to me. And again, it's my book, so I don't really give a fuck if it's not technically, the way you're supposed to do it. But okay, this one is called A Gold Digger's Guide to Getting the Most Out of Life, learning how to drain the lifeblood from an idiotic little man and his pathetic family while still being able to sleep at night. That's chapter 2. I don't know, man. I just something about the run-on sentence. Now, again, punctuation aside, well, not really long, really not run-on sentence, but it's just a very long title, which is kind of the point. And there's another one later, which is just there's a couple of them that are kind of fucked up, actually. But that's chapter 2. Let's see, chapter 3. Oh, the Easter my father lost his basket and his place at the dinner table, not to mention his place in our hearts and our wills. That one's kind of similar too, kind of long. The day my father's fornication destroyed us all. The day my father took off and abandoned. This one I tweaked. I tweaked this one, so because you have to understand where the story is at this point. And it's kind of funny because I got the day my father's fornication destroyed us all, and then the next chapter is the day my father took off and abandoned me, leaving me for dead, with only a hope and a dream in my heart and some old bologna in the fridge. That's just funny to me. He left me with a hope and a dream in my heart and some old bologna in the fridge. Cause that motherfucker took off, dude. He literally left the house. Ain't no getting around that fact. Let's see. Oh, the next chapter is He Did It for the Cupboards, The Glory of Mordor's Ridge. Dude, I fucking love that title. I don't know why. It's one of those ones where I feel like I was really, really smart, like I came up with something really wonderful. And I don't know if it is, but it just feels like I really dig that title. He Did It for the Cupboards and The Glory of Mordor's Riches. Because again, there's the whole Hobbit thing. Just something about that title. It's not even anything spectacular, but I feel like I've like conquered the world with this. I don't know what it is. Anyways, and I'm sure you can tell he did it for the cupboards. The Glory of Mordor's Riches. Actually, the reason I like that title because the way it fits in with the story. Because they're about to kill Ollie because Ollie's going to pee on the cupboards, and of course that's the next one. Ollie the Wonder Dog is no more. The loss of a good friend. The next chapter, and this is all part 1. Jeez. Yeah, part 1 is pretty well done. I don't know. I don't think there's any place to put in like filler stories. Like there's a few things I'd like to talk about. I still would like to talk about the Colemans. How they beat their kids for Jesus. I still would like to talk about that. But I don't know, because it's like, I don't know, whatever. Anyways, deconstruction, reconstruction, living in the house that Hell built. Dude, the fucking asshole that he is, he remodeled the fucking kitchen and it took him like 4 months. Probably closer to 5, maybe even 6, now that I think about it. And we're talking the whole kitchen was just completely destroyed. Like there was no sink. There was just a pipe sticking up out of the ground. The walls were all ripped to hell. I mean, like, if you walk through there, you think a bomb went off. And that's how I was supposed to live and eat and have, basic stuff. So yeah, deconstruction, reconstruction, living in the house that Hell built. In fact, I even have videos of that shit. Oh my god. Anyways, the next one is Dale T's handwritten letter to Gene. Which, and I love the idea that I use the font, the handwriting font. I don't know, I just think that is so funny. Again, I don't know if it's something you want to keep, but it's just funny to me. Because there's like 3 letters in here that people wrote throughout. Actually, there might be another letter. Because I wrote one to Graham about Gene. Because Gene, when when they asked Jean to leave, Jean literally went off the deep end. I think, honest to God, I think she had a breakdown. Because that Christmas, 2007, when I saw her, she looked like she had a serious breakdown. Either that or she found the book, one of the two. I don't know. But she did find the book at the end, I realized it. But whatever. Dale T's handwritten letter to Jean. And then my personal favorite, I love this title. I love this title. It has to stay in here. I'm demanding that it stays in here. Just because it's a Die Hard reference, and I don't give a fuck. It's called Happy Trails, Hans. Jean's Last Days with Us. I fucking love that title. Let's see. Next is an anal reflection and the shit to come, which pretty much speaks for itself. And then that's ended. Part 1 ends with Jean's handwritten letter to Dale T. Now, when you put everything in together, it started out with Dale T and I just having a normal fucking day, and then it goes into him whoring himself out, and then he gets disowned, and his fornicating ways, and then, let's see, then he leaves me for dead, and then he comes back and kills the dog for the cupboards, and he destroys the house, and he asks Jean to leave, and then Jean does leave, and she writes him a letter and says, fuck you. I really like the way that played out. From the prologue 1, prologue 2, the title, the part 1 title, all the way down, I really like where this is going. I'm really happy about it, to be honest with you. Okay, now we're on to part 2. And again, these titles are subject to tweakage or whatnot. So, part 2, dissension in the ranks and more bullshit in the making. This one's not as packed. Let's see, that one's got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's got 13 chapters. This only has, part 2 only has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And as of right now, part 3 only has 1, 2, 3, 4. And I still don't have the epilogue. But there's still a couple more stories I got to do in part 3, so it's kind of like part 1 is set. I think part 1 is really well done. I think it's really well. I like the flow of it. Although I have to go back and read it too, because I haven't actually read it like that way. I read it more like, oh, this story would go good here, this story would go good here. I haven't actually read it back to back, so that might be subject to some change. But anyways. Part 2, Dissension in the Rank and more bullshit in the making. Now, I like this title because you have to understand what's going on. It's called The Committee of 3. No, 4. Wait, it's 5. Jean has just moved out. Because, again, handwritten letter to Dale T. Jean has just moved out because there's dissension in the ranks and more bullshit in the making. She has just moved out. And we all run upstairs. His sister Linda and Vince are there. Kevin and Renee are there. And they are vacuuming the floor. Well, the vacuum gets stuck. Like the hose gets stuck. There's shit in it. And they can't unstuff it. So you have... Oh, and my Aunt Wilma was there, too. His other sister, Wilma. So you have Wilma, Linda, Betsy. That's the 3. And then 4, Vince gets involved. And then Dale T gets involved. So he's number 5. And you gotta understand, there's like these Republican hillbilly lowlifes. No offense to any of them, but paint the picture. You could say that unequivocally, trying to shove stuff up into the hose. One's looking at one end, the other's looking at the other end. The thing is flipped up. So it was just, you had to be there. So anyways, Committee of 3, no, 4, wait, it's 5. Then we have the Uninviteds, which is more her fucking family coming into the house. So it's like, who are these people? Now I don't know if There might actually be another story somewhere I could squeeze in right there. I don't remember if I talked about that Christmas 2006. I don't know if I did 2006. Because again, 2005 was in book 2, 2006, and then 2007 is the first one here, which is going to be part of book 4. So, anyways, let's see. So we have the Uninviteds. Oh, the next one. Why can't we be friends? Like the song. Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends? That's when I told her to kiss my ass. Whatever. And then we have Uninvited 2, kind of like Metallica's Unforgiven 2, only with a point. Which, again, I find witty. I am proud of myself on that one. Because that's like another part of it. This one is a very interesting read, because when I was reading through it, it's like, holy fucking shit, because it took me back to when it happened. I had legitimate pneumonia. I had something that was not your typical flu, your typical cold. I had something, I'm surprised, honest to God, I'm not joking, I'm surprised I didn't die. Anyways, it's called Deathbed Confessions. The week I had pneumonia, nobody cared. Literally, they didn't give a fuck. Now, at this point, we're not totally hostile with each other, but again, there's dissension in the ranks and more bullshit in the making. This is right around that time. Which is absolutely beautiful, because it's then followed up with the day I realized my father loves the homeless guy more than me. So think about it. Deathbed Confession, the week I had pneumonia, nobody cared. And then that's followed by the day I realized my father loves the homeless guy more than me. I don't know, man. Okay, then. Oh, this one. This is another one of those kind of run-on. I don't know how to tweak it so that it's shorter, because I kind of want everything that's... You could probably take out the... Well... It's called The Day I Went Out and Found the Half-Naked Homeless Man Standing in My Kitchen with his arm elbow deep in a jar of pickles, talking about hay as if it's some sort of greeting. You probably could take out the with his arm elbow deep in a jar of pickles and just have it read, The day I went out and found a half-naked homeless man in my kitchen talking about hay as if it's some sort of greeting. You could probably tweak that. It might just flow a little better. But the idea of his arm he's elbow deep in a jar of pickles. Dude, I go out there and he's in his fucking boxers. I don't know who this guy is. It's like, what the fuck, people? Oh, and this one. What hobbits in Vegas didn't stay in Vegas? Oh my god. You have to picture Dale T, who's living on Cloud 9, and it's because she's buying him a bunch of stuff. She's buying him a bunch of stuff. A new riding lawnmower, for one. He's putzing around on the riding lawnmower. And he comes around. I'm sitting out on the deck. She's off putzing around in the yard somewhere. And he comes around the pool and he bucks out teeth and he lifts up his finger. He lifts up his hand as if like almost like doing like the Four Horsemen. And with his thumb, he wiggles the ring, and I'm like, you motherfucker, you motherfucker. I literally said, you motherfucker. I don't know if he read the lips, but I was like, you motherfucker. That was his way of telling me that they had gotten married when they were in Vegas. Which I already had pieced that together. I mean, it's Vegas. Why the fuck are you going to Vegas? Get a Vegas wedding? I mean, how Camden can you possibly be? But whatever. Anyways, that's all I got for part 2. Now we got part 3. I don't know what I was thinking. I mean, I know what I was thinking. I was thinking more like, if you consider my servant Job today, kind of a deal. But this one, part 3, I entitled, When Christ Looked Down from the Cross and Said, It Is Finished, and he wasn't kidding. That's part 3, which is basically them throwing me out. So it's like, I was kind of backing myself into, like, a Christ-like concept, you know. Anyways, the first chapter is... Dale T's Little Fucking Inferno, which I don't know if it's a great read, but it was fun to write. because I basically take the story of Dante in the 9 levels of hell and I impose them onto Dale T. Again, it's not even that long, so but it's kind of a good setup. I don't know. You'll have to read it. So, and then we have Cousin Renee's handwritten letter to Uncle Dale T, which in and of itself is great. Terms of departure. I don't know if it should be my terms of departure, but it's just whatever. Which is basically just a list of shit. Like, I want, you're gonna do this, this, that. Now, this next story, and this is the last one that I've got so far in here. It's an interesting story. It really is a very, very, very interesting story. And it's got to be in the book. But the title really doesn't sort of exactly have a point with the actual story, at least the first part. I entitled it Going to the Movies, Hobbits on Parade. In other words, the shit that was going on was the movie. In other words, like, you go to a movie to escape, you go to a movie to, enjoy yourself. I went out and then came back and got fucked, basically. This is Jean's little fuck party. Where she had, and I swear to Christ, she had outhouses on her property. We don't know where she got them. Don't know how they got there. They were outhouses. They were purposely there for people who wanted to use them. She got them for this party. She had probably 75 people there in her backyard. And these outhouses had American flags and British flags draping over them, like full-fledged, like, official flags, not little tiny ones, like 50 little tiny ones. No, we're talking like big, huge fucking flags wrapped around the outhouse. No, hear me. Old Glory was shining high that day. Okay. And as we show up, as we come around, because you gotta understand, as we first come in, there's a sign with balloons that says parking, and it's off to the right. Well, we have to go back through the driveway, around the other side of the house, and around the back. First thing we see are the outhouses. As we get around to the other side of the house, we see a car back there. And there is a woman with a miniature pony. No, hear me. A miniature pony, and it's wearing a t-shirt. And it's not only is it wearing a t-shirt, but it's an American flag t-shirt. So you got this American flag theme going on. And if you're wondering why the theme was American flags, and why there was British flag on an outhouse, because Jean, we don't know how, where, why, when, none of that. She made friends. I think she sold Beanie Babies to somebody or some bullshit, and she just corresponded and became friends and met with numerous times and had dinner with and all this other stuff numerous times. This British couple. Are you hearing the words? And they were coming to the States, and they came to see Jean. Now, hear me. They came to see Jean. And she's throwing them a party. But it's not just any party. She is throwing them an American 4th of July party. They are British people. And she's throwing them a 4th of July, Independence Day from Britain, party. Hence the flags. And hence the fucking horse with a t-shirt. Anyways, so going to the movies was basically the movie, if you will. That was the going out and experiencing insanities. But whatever. Anyways, so at that point, that is when they cut off the internet when I came home from said party, because Kevin and Renee took me. They came to the house, got me, drove me all the way up here to see Gene for a couple hours, and then we drove all the way back to my house. While I was out, they shut off the internet. And for some odd reason, my YouTube channel, my original, the Orange Toupee one, was shut down that same day. They fucking, I don't know if she went in and closed it. I have no idea. But the whole thing was shut down. I didn't shut it down. So I have no idea. There was irreplaceable stuff on that fucking YouTube channel. Whatever. Unless fucking Greater Grace flagged it or some shit. I don't know. Maybe YouTube shut it down. But it was the same fucking day, so I don't know. I mean, she could have easily gone into my computer, seen it, and said, "Oh, let me delete this profile." Because I mean, it was just open. It's my computer. Nobody's, so it's just ready to go. I open it up, ready to go. Not expecting some dumb bitch to come in and like, oh yeah, let's just delete everything. I'm not saying she did, but again, it was the same day, so. And yeah, that's basically. I went to see Gene and the horse in the outhouses, and watched Dorn's. Oh yeah, I forgot. Dorn's eating watermelon, which is a sight to behold. And when I came home, they basically ostracized me and let me know that basically go fuck yourself. That they basically canceled the internet. And this is on behest of, quote unquote, their therapist, which technically was Betsy's therapist, but she's like, I don't need that anymore. I don't need therapy anymore. But she kept taking Dale T to therapy because Dale T needed therapy. And this stupid bitch who knows nothing about anything that's going on in the house, didn't know anything about me. It's like, oh, he's almost 30. Kick him out of the house. Forget the fact that I was fucking living there for an entire year by myself. Forget the fact that I was, fucking crippled. But hey, whatever. Let's, nobody cared about any of that stuff. But, whatever. So there's still stuff to talk about. I still have to talk about, leaving, packing up my shit. The day I actually left, I still have that, so there's still a couple stories. And I think the epilogue should be a story about Graham. And I'm thinking the Big Whaler, I think would be a good story. It would be a good way to end book 3, because the epilogue, I think, should end book 3 and transition next into because dude, there's some stories there to tell. Now I don't have as much stuff there, but I don't know. I mean, worst case scenario, we take 3 and 4 and combine them. I don't want to do that, but if it has to be done, but there's so much stuff that I can do with 4 that it almost warrants being a separate thing. But whatever. Like, I have to talk about the time that when I first got here, Graham took me on a tour of the town. And she went to Owl Wire, which is the wire company, like, right across the property line. And she's like, Peter, because you gotta understand, she thought Dale T was being manipulated, and that he was a smart man, and that he would one day wake up and realize that she was using him and just being a bitch to him, and he was going to leave her, and that he could come and live with us because we had the other side of the house. He could live over there. He could work at Owl Wire. She had this in her head that this was actually going to be a thing. And I'm sitting in the back seat of the car. I have Lucy with me, because Graham likes to take Lucy and I for rides. Don't ask me why. It was just a little thing that she liked to do, and I was like, okay, fine. And Lucy loved it. She loved going for a ride. She enjoyed it. So I'm sitting in the back. Grandma's chauffeuring, and I got Lucy on my lap, and we're sitting in a old wire parking lot, and she's, Peter, Peter, when your father leaves that stupid bitch, he can come and work here. I'm like, Graham, I don't know about all that. I just, I was like, yeah, that could work. That could work, Graham. she she loved Dale T. She loved Dale T, I tell you, and she thought Dale T would come around. Yeah. Yeah, he came around all right. Well, eventually she got a little tired of him. She did. She got a little tired of him toward the end. He was dead to her by the end. But yeah, hey, whatever. Oh, I should talk about the time. Actually, no, I kind of did mention that. I was going to talk about the time that Betsy wished that Graham would choke. Which I don't understand why somebody would say that, but you know, whatever. But hey, especially during the holiday, like I hope your grandmother chokes. Hope Stella chokes, kind of a deal. And I'm like, what the fuck is that shit? Yeah, I'm the one who threatened her. Seriously. Oh, I got to talk about the time they called the cops on me. Oh, and there's that one time I had just gotten here, and like 3 days later, because they had found the little audio CD that I had left, because I had left this audio CD basically saying "Go fuck yourself." It was a couple hours worth of content. I have a copy of it, so I'm gonna have to go back and listen to some of it. I haven't listened to it in like 11 years since I've been here. I haven't listened to it at all since I did it, so I don't. Maybe I did threaten them. I don't know. But I'm upstairs. All of a sudden, I hear Peter from the hallway, and I get out of bed, and I look, and I'm like, "What, Graham? What do you need?" Peter, police are on the phone. Because I didn't have a phone. I came here, I had no internet, I had no phone. It'd be like 2 weeks. I had no TV. I had a TV, but I had no like cable. And I had a VCR, an actual VCR, not DVD player. This is 10 years, 11 years ago. In fact, that first weekend, that first couple days, whatever it was, like the first night I was here, I watched, what the hell was it? Tomb Raider with Angelina Jolie. I watched 1 and 2. That was so fucking pathetic. And I'm sitting here with my MacBook, which was cracked from their fucking cat. Don't even get me started. Oh my god, dude. Yeah, you couldn't pay me to go back to that time. Not that things are all hefty and wonderful right now, but you couldn't pay me to go back to that time. You just simply couldn't. But I still have to talk about all that. That should be book 4. What else do I got to talk about? I should talk about the big. We had Betsy and I and Dale T. We had this huge explosion. It was sometime in like June. This is right before she got married. This is right before they married. I want to say they married in October. No, it was late. Maybe it was August. Maybe it was, I don't know. I don't know what it was. I can't remember. I don't give a fuck, to be honest with you. And we had this huge explosion. Like, I had no problem at this point. I didn't have a problem. Honest to God, before the explosion, the big fight in was it June? Yeah, I think it was like June or July. I think it was, no, whatever. Like, I really didn't have a problem. Like, I didn't think there was a problem. I had noticed a few things where they were like not including me, and I was like, okay, whatever. But I didn't realize what had happened. I guess basically where it came from. And see, what was the name of the story? I think it's the "Why Can't We Be Friends" story. I'm pretty sure that's where it was. Yeah, it was. Where I had, I jokingly said, "You guys can kiss my ass," and I said that jokingly because now you gotta understand, I was trying to get on SSI, and I can't be running around doing quote unquote work. Which, not that I could, you gotta understand, I couldn't. And because she didn't understand that. She just looked at me like I was fat and lazy and, I should just, get over it. Forget the spina bifida, the tether spine, the whole nine. Forget all that stuff. You know, her brilliant idea was she's going to get a riding lawnmower. I could ride around. Seriously, dude, do you understand the amount of vibrations? What that shit would do to my fucking hip and my leg and my lower back and the sciatic nerve and the herniated disc? Do you have any idea what this is on a fucking mower? Oh my god. Oh, it's hurting just thinking about it. And I was thinking about it logically like that. So when they said that, I was like, yeah, you two can kiss my ass. I said it jokingly. Well, she apparently didn't take it as a joke, and that's where the whole thing, because I was, rude. Not, I wasn't. I was disrespecting her or some fucking bullshit. Of course, she never respected me, but whatever. I have no idea. Stupid bitch, but whatever. Whatever. I still have to talk about that stuff. I'm trying to think, what else is there? Because I want to end it with me being evicted. Now, I don't know if I want to talk about moving there. I think that should be part of book 3, actually. I really do. In fact, it might have to be because I do need some extra content. So, it may have to end with me actually moving. Because I was going to start... No, actually it does, because then book 4 can start with me actually there. And here's some more stories of Graham versus the Bee. That's a great dude. That fucking story of her and the fucking Mary Walker. Of course, that's later on. That's not like a starter story, but this is after she fell. I gotta talk about all that shit too. Then I gotta talk about Jean dying. Oh my god, dude, that should be book 4. Jean dying. Oh my god. And then Graham. Oh my god. And then Graham dying. And the whole football thing. I was watching football and oh my god, dude. And I'm telling you, I swear to God, I thought I saw her standing in the road, out by the road. That fucking night. I swear to God. Because you gotta understand, there was no light out there. Now her kitchen light was, or her living room light was on. She had all her lights on. Because it was the night from before, a couple days, so her lights had been on for like 4 days. So you could see little reflections like on the tree, like you could see the bark and stuff a little bit. I swear to Christ, I honest to God, I am not kidding. I'm not trying to be spooky or like ooh or whatever. I swear to God, I had to go out and let the dog out. I want to say it was Sunday night. I want to say it was football night. Or maybe it was Saturday night. I can't remember. But everything felt really weird. Everything felt very weird. And I did feel like alone, like the house was empty. I can't explain that. It felt like the house was empty. But I just equated that to, well, she's downstairs, so like I'm here by myself. Dude, I'm telling you right now, this is the weirdest fucking thing. Because I let the dog out, and it had to be maybe 11:30. Maybe it's closer to 1:30, somewhere in between 11:30 and 1. And I swear to Christ, I thought I saw someone, or I almost want to say Jean. I thought I saw her standing out by the road, and I'm like, because she's dead. Keep in mind, she's dead. She's dead at this moment. She's laying in the other room. I don't know it. I didn't know. And looking back now, maybe I'm just like transferring concepts. I don't know. But I literally took a double take. I was like, "Who's that out there?" 'Cause I thought somebody was out there because they were looking at me or looking toward the house. I don't know if they're looking at me, but I swear to Christ, I thought somebody was there. I'm not kidding. I am not kidding when I say that. It was a short little round person. And I thought, looked like Gene. I mean, it's just. Oh my God! I'm thinking about. I'm trying to visualize what I saw, and it was like, it was a split second. Like I looked and I looked back, and I was like, what? And there was nothing there after when I looked back. But it was just, oh my God! I just, oh, I can't get that thought out of my head. It's just, that shit needs to be book 3. That shit definitely needs to be in all book 3. Like I'm gonna have to go through the clips and stuff, and all the stuff that I gotta transcribe a bunch of shit because I think I've told the story way better than I am right now. Like I'm just talking, so I'm not really paying attention to what I'm saying, if that makes any sense. Um, but whatever. Anyways, so let's see what else. What else do I got to talk about? I got to talk about. Graham. I got to. Oh my God! And the whole thing with her and the fucking baby mom. I did a clip about this not too long ago, so I'm not gonna go into all that stuff. But hearing her have night terrors, like, at like 1, 2, 3 in the morning over the baby monitor. I honest to God, I thought she fell out of bed and broke her fucking hip. It was the most horrific sound. Like literally somebody took a hot poker to a cat's anus. Like and you know the sound I'm talking about. I know you know the sound. Hot poker cat anus. I'm telling you, it's I gotta talk about all that stuff. Oh my God! And it's just, I can't help but just, I can't help but think where things were versus where they are now. Literally everyone is dead except for Dale T and I. We're the last two of the immediate family that survived. I mean, honest to God. And then I get into this. This follows into the whole death thing. The whole thing I've been talking about death lately. And it's just creeping me out. It's really bothering me. Like the people that have fucking died. I mean, seriously, my Aunt Nancy died. She died, I think, 81. My grandfather died in 93. The old man died 2005. Graham died 2013. Gene was 2016. And my Uncle Paul died earlier this year. Gene's ex-husband. So, you know, it's Dale T and I'm in no shape, and he's 75. He's 75, and I'm in not in good shape. So the two of us are going to be dead. And then what's left? There's nothing left. There's literally nothing left. The family that was is gone. There's nothing left except for these stupid stories that I have that people seem very offended by. Like the family, they got very offended by a lot of it. I don't think they understood what I was trying to do. I was trying to document. I was partly trying to document it. I was partly trying to make fun of it. And I was just trying to preserve it, is what I was trying to do. Preserve the insanity of it all. Because, you know, now granted, it's my perspective and some of it was taken out of it. Actually, a lot of it wasn't taken out of context, to be honest with you. I didn't really overly do anything. Like, make somebody look worse than they really were. Like Jean comes across as being a complete bitch because she was a complete bitch. She could be a real piece of shit sometime. Yeah, like I'm not saying I'm not. I can be a total dick. I mean, I'm being a dick right now. Ain't nobody here, you know. But you know, yeah, there's a lot of shit to talk about for book 4. And then there's the individual stories. There's oh my god, there's so many fucking Graham stories. I mean, I've got an entire clip. I've got probably 7-8 hours worth of just Graham alone. Like I have that one called Graham Trek, the last generation or whatever the fuck it was. There's stories there that I'm gonna have to transcribe and go through. It's just holy crap! I can't believe the amount of work that I have to do if I want a book 4. You have to understand. Most everything was written, with the exception of a little bit here or there. Like I'd write a few things as it happened, and save it up, and then oh something else would happen. Let's write about that. The next thing you know, you got like 15, 20 chapters. It's like shit. Make a book out of it. But I'm telling you right now, with the exception of maybe like 2 chapters, there's nothing in book 4. Nothing in book 4 that's ready. And that bothers me because it's like I have to start from scratch. Like book 3 was, well, shit. Let me look through. I'm just kind of documenting this. When I started book 3, let's see. Life and Death was already done. Prologue where I fell in the septic tank was already done. Going out to dinner with Dale T was already done. Gold Diggers Died was done. Idiotic Little Man, blah blah blah. Oh, that's part of the Gold Digger. The Easter my father lost his basket, that was already done. My father's fornication, that I had to add. My father took off and abandoned me, that I had to add that. He did it for the cupboards, I had to add that one. Ollie the Wonder Dog, had to add that. Destruction of the House, had to add that. Gene's handwritten letter was just, well, I had to add that, but it was already done, obviously. Happy Trails, Hans, part of that was already done. Annual Reflection, I think I had to add that one. Or no, Dale T's handwritten letter and then Gene's handwritten letter. Those were already done. Committee of 3, I did that. I wrote that when it happened. The Uninviteds, actually, the Uninvited 2 was actually one big story, but I didn't like how it flowed, so I broke it up. So that shit was already done. Why Can't We Be Friends? I think I had to do that, or part of that one. Deathbed Confession was already done. Day I realized my father loved the homeless guy more than me. That was already done. Half Naked Man in the Kitchen. That was already done. What Hobbits in Vegas was already done. Fucking Infernal was already done. Cousin Renee's letter to Uncle Dale. That was done. Terms of Departure was done. And going to the movies from the Hobbit was done. So yeah, most of the stuff, I literally just had to piece in a few little things up to this point. But book 4 has nothing. I mean, absolutely nothing. I mean, I got clips basically. Like there's Graham versus the Bee. There's that story. I think that one's done. So yeah, that's one of them. Trying to think, what else is there? Oh, that fucking letter we sent to her ex-husband. Now, I may use the title Dale T. Little Oink Fucker of a Man, but I don't think I'm going to include that story, because that story was a little, there's some truth to it, but I don't know. Let me see. Then I've got, like, entire emails that I'm going to have to transcribe and try to make something out of. I got this one whole thing here. There's some book ideas over here. Laying carpet with Dale T. I don't remember if that is a story. That may have to go in. I think this is when they were remodeling the house, when they were trying to sell. Oh, I got to talk about that too. Them selling the house. Okay, so I can add that to book 3. Oh, let's see. Uninvited, Terms of Departure. Yeah, I've got all this stuff here, and these are like, I saved a bunch of stuff, like text that I wrote to you, like in AIM or whatever it was, or or whatever the fuck we were using back then. I got like 3 whole pages of just I'd say something, you'd say something. Maybe I can make work something into that. I got there's 4 pages of that crap. Um, I don't know. Boy, like I said, I'd like to talk about the Comans, but the problem with the way book 3 is setting out is that it is kind of unto itself. Unless I added a 4th section in the middle, and then added some other stuff that really had nothing to do with the main story. I don't know how I want to work that, because again, part 1 leads into part 2, part 2 leads into part 3, and so on and so forth. And the whole thing is kind of like a little collective thing, but I want to add other stories in there that are relevant, but maybe aren't telling the overarching umbrella of a story. I don't know how to do that without breaking up the pace, because the pace I think is fairly decent, although I could be wrong. I haven't actually read it that way. I read each individual thing, but not like back to back. So the pace might be a little fucked up if I add other stuff. I'm trying to think, what else is there? But yeah, no, there's a crap ton of stuff I gotta write. I mean, it's just book 4 is gonna take probably, dude. It's gonna take at least a year. I mean, like I had book 3 from where it is when I first started, which is just a bunch of little collections of nothing, to where it is right now. It took probably about 3 weeks to get it done. But like I said, book 4 is not. I didn't write a lot of stuff. After I moved here, I didn't really write a lot. Well, actually, it's not true. I did write, but not like current stuff. Like I can't remember the last time I wrote about a Christmas. May have been. I don't know. I can't remember the last time I wrote about Christmas. Because again, I wrote about Christmas 2005, because obviously it was the first one after the old woman died. Plus, you know, Betsy was kind of there, and it was Jean, Dale T, and I, and Betsy was kind of the odd wheel, you know. And then 2006, Jean is gone, which I gotta find that. I know I wrote something somewhere, so that one I've got to find. And Jean is gone, and I'm sitting there, and her whole fucking family is there, which I didn't have necessarily a problem. It's just they were all strangers to me, and it's like I don't really want to commune with these people. Just, you know, I'll be civil, just don't, you know. And then Betsy's mother peeks her head in and wants to talk to me, and it's just like, I don't know. I was just really disappointed with the whole situation. It's just people running around, and it's just weird. Just a really weird. Whatever. Yeah, I could talk about that stuff too. I gotta find the 2006. I actually am curious. Is there a 2006? Hold on. Let me Dropbox. Dropbox. Let me look. If it'll load. But again, I'm just trying to go over stuff that I have to. Stuff that I have to. Hold on. Let's see. 2006. Let me just type that and see if that comes up. No results. Good. How about 06? 06. Okay, there's a lot of stuff 06, but it really doesn't have anything to do with 2006. Oh, the gum sculpture. Holy shit. Is there anything written? I see picture. Yeah, a lot of it's picture. What the hell is that? Oh, okay, never mind. Oh, the grill. I forgot about that shit. Anyways, I'm just kind of going through this thing here. Yeah, I'm not gonna find what I'm looking for. Anyways, like I said, I was just going through stuff. What the fuck is that? Oh, okay, never mind. Anyways, whatever. I'm just kind of poking around. Um, what else do I need to talk about? Book 3. Let's focus on book 3. What do I have to do? Let me. No shit, not iBooks. Fucking icons are almost the damn same. Okay, table of contents. Table of contents. Thank you. I hate when you touch something and it does not fucking pay attention. I probably could add a couple things to part 2. See, what I could do in part 2 is if I wanted to, there's a couple places I could break up the monotony and talk about a few different people and different things and different situations. I probably could, and then the ass end of it, once you get the gist of the story, I guess you could probably just fill in other stuff. But it was just kind of weird that you've got this story that's very compact, and then all of a sudden toward the end it's like, oh yeah, here's a random story. It really doesn't have anything to do with that, but really should be in the book, kind of a deal. I got to be careful with that. But yeah, I could definitely I could definitely do that in part 2. There's a couple. I definitely think you could add one or two more stories in part 2. And part 3 is still work in progress, and I still don't. I still don't have a epilogue. Or what if I did the epilogue Christmas? No, epilogue can't be Christmas. That story has to be in. Yeah, that story too, I'd have to add. That would be somewhere. Oh, it'd have to be in part 2 somewhere. So yeah, Christmas 2006 has to be in part 2 because just of the timing. But yeah, if I did an epilogue with Graham versus the Big Whaler, I still have to talk about. Does he go into the? Yeah, okay. So I've just come home and I realized that they've shut off the internet. That's where the story ends right now. Oh, I've got to talk about all that. Oh my God, there was this. People were taking sides essentially. Like the family was taking sides, and Kevin and Renee were on my side. Gene and Graham were on my side. My father was obviously being an asshole. Linda was not on my side. Aunt Linda, my aunt, was not on my side. Aunt Wilma didn't really take sides. So, oh my God, oh shit, maybe I can even do a 4th section. I don't know, I have to think about that. But we need to talk about that. Because if the goal is to end with me moving out, I have to talk about actually packing up my stuff, which could be a chapter, and Renee taking me, and then showing up at Graham's. And then I gotta talk about actually, oh, there's a bunch of shit. Oh, yes. There was a bunch of shit where Graham and I were talking on the phone. In fact, that's where I got the That Bitch remix. That bitch. You ought to burn in hell. Okay. That was me talking on the phone with Graham, and I held a fucking recorder up to the earpiece so I could hear what she was saying. That bitch. I don't know where the original recording is. Oh my God. Actually, it was that little recorder that you got me, and I think that's in a box. I didn't lose it. I didn't get rid of it, but I think it was on a little tape, and I don't know where the tape is. That's the problem. If I even still have that one tape, I may have taped over it. Because once I recorded what I wanted, I kind of reused the tape over and over. So, oh man, I'd love to hear that conversation though. Oh, another thing. Another thing I want to do, and I don't know if I want to do it for 3 or 4, but I do need to talk about. Every year, Graham would call me on my birthday, and she'd recite the same story about how she was hanging wallpaper upstairs. She got the call, the woman's going into labor. She's telling me the story every year. Actually, I think I should do that after she dies. That would be a good place. So she died, and I'm remembering that. That would actually be really good. She's dead, and then the first birthday she didn't call. That kid would work out really well. That's a good placement for that. Do 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 do. I got to talk about how she fell, how she broke her hip. Then I got to talk about the times are called 911. Peter, I've fallen, Peter. The whole thing about painting the kitchen. Oh my God, there's so much. Yeah, Graham and Jean deserve their own book, and that's all I'm going to say on that. But if we had to, we could condense the two, but I think there's enough for a third, and I definitely think there's enough for a fourth. No, it depends. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to talk about, but I could probably talk about most of it in like one chapter and tell like the entire story and have like 5 pages and be like, that's the whole story. I mean, they could fall into that kind of a category. But I'm not gonna worry about book 4 until the spring because I'll probably take I might just, I don't know. I might wait until spring and then go out with a tablet and just type, do stuff out there on the deck, just do stuff. Because right now winter's coming and, but yeah, book 3 I gotta get finished. I definitely want to finish that. That way I got the trilogy. The trilogy is done. I mean, right now the trilogy is, I'd say 99% done. I got just that little bit to do, a little tweaking, and then I can send it all to you. Let me think what else. Okay, so, alright, let me go through this again. So at the end, last chapter that's in here right now is when they shut the internet off, which I then started to realize, actually that might be a little bit out of place because that all happened before they got married. So what happens in Vegas? Actually, what? Well, no, actually, because Dale T's Little Fucking Inferno is kind of a random story. It's not really an actual story, per se, but it fits. Cousin Ray's letter doesn't really fit, and my terms of departure don't really fit. So, let's see. Actually, those two stories should probably be switched. Going to the movies with a Hobbit on parade, that probably should switch to What Hobbits in Vegas. I may have to switch those two, now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I may have to switch those two. Oh well, I'll just keep in mind on that. But I'll have to read it and see how it plays out because essentially what happens is once you end What Happens in Vegas stays in Vegas in the reveal of they got married. Yeah, this story takes place before all that shit. Yeah, those two stories should be flip-flopped. Okay. That's gonna be a pain in the dick. It's just thinking about doing that. Anyways, where do we leave off? So, essentially she got married and it was like she had won. That's how she was playing it up. Then I do have to talk about them calling the cops on me. So the end of book 3 probably is going to have to be a couple stories of me here. Like there's the story of Graham and the cops when she's at the hallway. The cops are on the phone. Oh yeah, because what happened? Oh my God, what happened was she was trying to listen. Because she has 2 phones, or had 2 phones, I should say. And because it was the cops, she wanted to listen. So I'm standing in her living room. on her living room phone while she's in the kitchen, and I kind of shut the door so I could have some privacy and just, And I'm talking to, I guess, a state police officer or some bullshit, or somebody who claimed to be a state police officer. It could be one, one of the fucking Skinners for all I know. All of a sudden, I hear this. And I'm like, Graham, you got to get off the fucking phone. I can't hear. She's mouth breathing into the fucking phone, and I'm on the fucking phone with the cops. Supposedly for threatening their lives. Which I'm then going to talk about the fact that if I really threaten their fucking lives. And let's see, this was a couple days after moving, so we're talking August, late August. So between September, October, November, and early December, within like 4 months, they forgave me and decided that for Christmas they were going to give me a table and chair set. Sure, yeah. I threatened their life and they're going to give me a table and chair set. Yep. Whatever. So I got to talk about that. Yeah, she was, oh my God, she was, it literally sounded like somebody was, like, cranking me on the fucking other end of the phone. Like it was a prank phone call. Like there was some pervert in a rain jacket flashing me or shit. Fucking Graham, I tell you. Jesus. So yeah, we're going to talk about that. That should probably be in book 3. Yeah, that would definitely be in book 3. And then book 4 could open up with... Again, it would just be a random Graham story. Graham and the Big Whaler would actually be a good opening for 4, but I need a epilogue that's going to kind of like transition, or at least not necessarily transition, but I kind of want like a neutral, like this is life now story, and it's got to be here with Graham and going out to eat with her at Burger King. What actually that would work out good, because if the epilogue was just me and her going out, because technically the big whaler, where she went to Burger King and got the big whaler and started pawing through other people's food. That story, again, I don't know how much of a story there is. That's basically it. We went to Burger King, and as we're waiting there for food, the woman brings the bag up, and Graham grabs the bag from her, starts looking through it and pawing through it. Says, "Peter, is this our stuff? This doesn't look like our stuff, Peter." I'm like, "Graham, that's not our stuff. That's somebody else's." And the woman gives me a dirty look, and I'm like, "I'm sorry. She's 80 years old." Like, Peter, this doesn't look like what we ordered. I'm like, "It ain't, because it ain't, Graham. Jesus." So, but again, that's basically the story. So, I don't know. I guess I could tell the whole Wire story, that whole thing. I could end with that. Maybe that could be the epilogue. Like, Graham thinks that Dale T is going to come to his senses, and that when he, quote-unquote, leaves that bitch, he can come live with us. That could be a good way to end book 3, actually. That could actually be a good way to end it. I was going to save that for the opening for 4, but, that could be a really good way to end it. I think I'm going to go with that. So to get to that point, I have to talk about... Actually, the cops story would be a good opening for book 4. That'd be like chapter 1 right there. Where she's heavy breathing on the thing, on the phone while I'm trying to talk to the police. Oh my God, dude, there's just so much insane shit that took place. I mean, just legitimately insane shit. I don't understand how so much insanity invokes itself into my existence. I really don't. Like, I know other people, have lives too, and just weird shit, but it's like either they're not paying attention to the weird shit, like it's just old hat and they don't really care, or, you know, like, I'm sure that you as a human being have a grandmother. I believe that. I'm sure your grandmother's old. I'm sure she's done some weird shit, or funny shit, or just, outlandish shit because she's old. But I mean, how many people have done stuff that Graham's done, though? You know? It's like, either I have the ability to pick up on it and just acknowledge it in the humorous sort of way, or it's just really fucking stupid, crazy shit that just happens to only me. And I know it's not only me, but the amount of times that it happens only me makes it unique. Like, you might have a story like, oh, my grandmother did this, and ha 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 ha. Okay, fine. You may even have a couple, but you have 3 books worth of family jesting and bullshit? I mean, dude, this is going on 4 books. You understand that? The first book is over 322 pages long. The second book is almost, 200 and whatever pages? Do you understand that? That's like 500 pages. That's like War and Peace kind of shit. I mean, seriously, do you have? I'm just curious. Do you have enough stories in your life that you could tell War and fucking Peace style, size book about it? Like, okay, my kids did this, and curly headed fuck did that. Oh, ha ha ha, he's so cute. But is it interesting? Is it funny? I don't know. I mean, it might be funny to you for like a moment, but is it worth writing about in the sense of, I don't know. That's the thing. It's like trying to relate my life to other normal people, and maybe they're normal because they just don't acknowledge certain things. Like, silly things happen, and it's like, oh, ha ha ha, and they just move on. Or silly shit happens to me, and I'm like, this is fucked up, and I need to write about it. So again, I don't know. I really don't know, but it just feels like to me that I'm either dwelling on a lot of crazy shit, or a lot of crazy shit actually happens. And I don't know which it is. I really don't. But yeah, like I said, somewhere in there, I have to fit the Colemans in there. Because there's a fucking story about my mother and my father went out to eat to Katie and Carl's, a local restaurant there. And the old woman said, I'll bring you back something. I'm like, okay, cool. She can bring me a sandwich and fries and, whatever. It's great. Bring it home. Can't wait. Well, on the way home, they decided to go to the Colemans for whatever fucking reason. And like an idiot, Dale T left the car window down. Just a tiny bit. Oh, just a tiny bit. Well, when they came out, the fucking Coleman's cat had jumped into the car and ate my hamburger. So the old woman comes home, and I hear them coming in the house. I'm like, oh, I can't wait. Give me my food. I've been sitting here for like 3 hours. Where the fuck you guys been? All of a sudden it's like, oh, sorry, we don't have it because Coleman's cat ate it. And I'm like, what the fuck, Coleman's cat? What the fuck is this shit? So yeah, I gotta talk about that. I want to talk about them beating their kid with the paddle. I talk about the fucking... dude, I don't think I've ever talked about the birds. My mother had birds back in the day. This is like early 80s. She had these... They weren't parakeets, but they were... not finches. Jean had finches. She had finches upstairs. I don't know if you knew that. She actually had birds. Jean had birds. But the old woman had these birds. They were supposed to talk. Like, you could train them, but they didn't really say shit. They didn't really say anything. They weren't parrots. They were something else. And the whole reason we were at the Colemans is because we had the bug bomb. And it was fucked up. We had all these fleas and ants and shit, and we need to, kill the hell out of them. And so I ended up with 2 birds in a little cage. She named one of them after Princess Diana. No kidding. I think it was Charles and Diana. I think that's the birds' names. Seriously, I'm not making this shit up. And we ended up at the Coleman's because there was nowhere else for me to go. Well, the old woman had stuff to do. She had errands to do, and she dropped me off with the bird. So I was at the Coleman's all afternoon, which is where the whole story of them, beating each other, beating with the fucking huge wooden thing that's on the wall, all that crazy shit. Oh, I gotta talk about that, dude. I really have to do a story about that. We also had hamsters too. I don't know if you knew that. Back when I was a kid, we had hamsters. And of course, the old woman would name everything. This goes back to the whole Tom and Jerry Timmer, the cat, where I wanted to name it Tom and Jerry, and she's like, "No, we're gonna name the cat Timmer," because she named everything. She named Ollie. Technically, she named Lucy, although the pound gave her that name, and it's like, that's a good name. Let's keep it. But yeah, she named everything. She named the birds, as I said, Charles and Diana. And she named the fucking hamsters. There's two of them. There was a male and a female. And she named them Sonny and Cher. Because one of them was like a blonde color. That was Sonny, obviously. So Sonny and Cher, the hamsters. And those fucking hamsters, dude, I swear to God, they were little bastards. They were little sons of bitches. The Sonny one bit me. I reached in, she bit me, bitch. And we had them in the living room, and we had these cages. And the little fuckers would open the cages. They actually would get out. They actually knew how to get out because there was those metal cages, and they could reach through the bars, reach up, and these things were not stupid. They were not stupid animals. Well, apparently, Sonny, the female, ironically, I think she named the male Cher, and the female was Sonny. I can't remember, but I want to say the blonde one, which I assume would be Sonny, was pregnant, and she was taking all the little stuff and making a nest, and she made this little round nest. And it was going to be babies. It was going to be little hamster babies. Well, we never found any babies. So we think she had them and then ate them. Because that's what they do. Ew. Talk about abortion. Fucking A. Well, the male, we don't know what happened to the male. We think he got out. She may have ate him too. She may have fucked him. Like, praying mantis kind of thing. But he got out. And then shortly after the missing babies happened, she got away, and we don't know where the fuck. We never saw him again. Like, it wasn't like, oh, there's Sonny running through the yard, or there's Cher running across the chair. No, we never saw him again. Fucking stupid. So yeah, if you ever do like hamsters or something like that, or whatnot, you got to get one of those fish tanks, those glass containers, and put them in that thing. We had hamster wheels and shit. We had they love that little hamster wheel. They're like running around in that fucking thing. Oh my God. They were cute as shit though. They were, you just watch them, and you could sit there and just watch them for like hours, and they just kind of do their little thing, and they kind of run around. Oh my God. I'm just thinking back to the fact that I had hamsters. This was like pre-Ollie though. This was like way back in the day. But yeah, I could talk about. I don't know if I could talk about. I don't know if this is worth talking. That I don't know if it's worth talking about. Although I could probably add it to the Coleman story because it's the whole animal thing and whatever. But what else is there to talk about? Yeah, I think I'm gonna end it with. I think I'll end it with the police being called on me. We'll end it there, book 3. Because that sounds like a really good way to end it. almost almost like a mini cliffhanger. Like, oh, the cops were called. What became of that? Tune in book 4, which I'll purposely never mention it again. So it's like, hey, I'll pull a Rain Johnson on that motherfucker. I know it's Ryan, but it looks like Rain. Fucking stupid guy's a fucking imbecile. Guy should not be writing at all. Like, I got bad punctuation, but at least I can tell a fucking cohesive story. Or at least a story that's, that guy's fucking illiterate, dude. Don't get me started with that shit. And these fucking nut huggers, they all want to defend it. Oh, Last Jedi is the greatest thing ever. No, Last Jedi is a pile of fucking trash. Anybody say otherwise is just imbecilic. I mean, if somebody enjoyed it, fine. But, you can't be too bright. But whatever, I don't get into all that. I thought this clip would go a little better because I had a bunch of ideas, and this is just me getting my ideas out. I think that's what it is. Like, I'm not really concentrating on what I'm saying. I'm trying to hit all the high points and be like, I want to do this, and this. And this is more of a clip for me than it is for you. Of course, I'm going to post it to YouTube because I got nowhere else to put it. So, like, if somebody who isn't you or me listening to this, like, they're not going to know what's going on. But, anyways, I'm trying to think. Is there anything else quick I want to talk about? Because I am getting tired. Actually, you know what? I think I'm just going to end this because... But, I think there's enough stuff. I think there's enough stuff for book 3. I can get at least 100 pages. I need about another 30 pages or so. I don't know if there's that much content right now. But there's definitely stuff I could put in there. I just don't know where to put it. That's the problem. It's like I don't know how to squeeze in stories because I like how cohesive what's there is. But, yeah, I don't know. I have to think about that because, I mean, I guess it'll have to be based on flow because if the flow gets fucked up, then the whole thing is fucked up. But if there's a moment or like a strategic moment even, where you could add like another story, like the one chapter ends with he's holding the bloody knife, and then the next chapter you see a backstory from like 20 years ago that had nothing to do with that, and it's kind of like, what the fuck? I want to hear about that, not this, but this is still interesting too. I don't know, but I don't know if I could be that strategery with it. I mean, I could. Whether it'll work, I have no idea. But yeah, that's kind of the rundown for today. There's still a lot of shit to do. I mean, it really is. Again, I'm shooting for like 180 pages, but I don't know. I just don't know. Because sometimes, like, I get writing and it's like I can tell the entire story in like a sentence, and it's like, this is supposed to be an entire book. I got it in like one sentence. It ain't the condensed version. You know what I'm saying? And then other times I have like one line, like one sentence that I want to add, like I want to make an entire story around, and I end up with like 15 chapters later, and it's like, it's so fucking weird how that works. It's like, you have nothing, but you have you have like one small idea that blooms into something huge, or you have this, what you think is this really well thought out thing, and it's like, size of a postage stamp. Anyways, the problem is I don't want to end this clip because I know I'm going to think of something in like 2 minutes. It always happens. Every time I end it, it's like, oh shit, I should have talked about this. I should have talked about that. Anyways, I'll do another update later because I'm going to have to just sit down and actually focus on the ass end of book 3. Because this is where I actually have to really start to write, and actually... Now, don't get me wrong when I say that, because I've written everything that's there, but it's just, I wrote it when it happened. This is like Now I've got to take all that, put it together, and then fill in the blanks and, you know, write shit and actually come up with new shit off the cuff and try to remember everything and get everything going. Luckily, I've got clips, like I said, so I can go back through some of that stuff. You know, especially the Coleman story, which I've talked about numerous times. I talked a little bit here, but I don't know if I want to completely transcribe. I don't know if that would be the way to go, but I definitely could pull up one-liners and shit from there because I'm sure I went crazy on their insanities a couple times. Actually, let me check something out quick. Let's go to YouTube. They haven't fucking flagged me again, you son of a bitches. Hold on. I'm looking to see if I can find. What the hell is that? Oh, that's cool. I'll have to check that out. No, wait. I want to go to my stuff. No, actually, fuck that. Let's go to YouTube Studio. I want to see if I can find a particular clip. If we can, we're in good shape. If not, we're fucked because I don't know where it is. Loading. Fucking A. Oh, Crown Jewel, 10 people. I got 10 views. Yeah, Delty's Racism got 6 views. I'm getting constant views, and only like 3 or 4, though. I'm a little disappointed that the Hank Williams Jr. one only got 2 views. That's a little disappointing. I got 11 views there, 12 views there. Damn. You gotta understand, my other site, I got a couple videos that made like, 2, 3, 4, 5K. I got a couple that are like 30K. That one Delty's on the Thrust Rider, that's like 15K or some shit. Oh, what am I doing? I forgot what I was doing. I was looking. All videos. Let me look at that and type in Coleman. See if we can't find that. No videos. Coleman's, maybe? Shit. So that's a bust. Shit. I was hoping it would be on YouTube. Trying to think where the hell that clip would be. Because I want to transcribe that clip. I know I have a clip. I definitely made a clip. Oh well. Anyways, I'm completely rambling right now. So I'm going to end this and probably go to sleep because I am tired as fuck right now. I need a nap. Anyways, fuck you.